Okay. Hi. Uh, me, Matt. This game. Um, Hi. Welcome to another um, pre-recorded video of me working on a game. Um, this is not going to be Ifrin or There Is No Sleep 2 or uh, Zalaxia. Um, this is actually going to be one for Underway Remastered. Um, And pardon the fact that it's really dark in here. It is not nighttime. It's actually 8 in the morning, and it's super cloudy outside, so there's like no sun. So that's why it looks like it's. Um, why it looks like it's late at night, and also why I have my morning voice a little bit still. So pardon those facts. But yes, we're going to be working on Underway Remastered today. And this is not something that I recorded during the development of the game. The game's already out at this point. Um, it's been out for a few months, but um, I had an epiphany about the game, and I wanted to update it to fit the struggling to find the word here, uh, the universe that I had planned initially. Well, not initially, but that I made plans for in the epiphany. How about that? Because the game on its own, as it is great. It's wonderful. However, after thinking about it and after messing around with it a little bit, I found a couple things I wanted to fix. And basically, there's another thing that I was going to add as well that I wanted to add initially. I just never really had the motivation to do it. So that's what we're going to be doing in this series. At this point, I've already been messing around with it a decent bit. But the main thing that I haven't gotten to yet is probably going to take up the bulk of this series, which I don't know how long it's going to be. Maybe a couple videos long. I have no idea. But um, I'll tell you right now, the biggest thing that I have planned is adding achievements to the game. It's going to be in-game achievements because there's no way to implement Steam achievements in RPG Maker 2003. Um, so it's just going to be in-game achievements, and I have an idea of how I'm going to implement this system. I just got to figure out the achievements themselves. And there's going to be a decent bit. There's not going to be an incredible lot, but there's going to be a decent bit. So, what else? I am tired. There's also I'm gonna be shifting. I'm gonna be adding some stuff, um, and telling more of the story, because the original idea was to have this game be made and then continue kind of the story or like the lore in a different game. And I just realized that this like pad thing that I like rest my wrists on when I'm typing is really dirty for some reason. I wonder if the cats laid on it or were like sniffing it or something. Whatever. I'll clean that later. Uh, the lore would be continuing in like There's No Sleep 2 or like a different game that I had planned. And after working on Ifrin for, um, however long I've been working on it, a couple months now, I think, um, I realized that I'm not really motivated to work, like, continue this story anymore. And the more I thought about it, I realized that it was convoluted and very confusing. And I was also clinging on to a story that I had come up with way back when I was in high school, several years ago. And Jesus, my face is really bright. Oh, I guess it's partially because of my computer monitor. I bet if I did that. Sorry. Um, and that story would be good. However, like I said, it's very confusing. And trying to insert the overarching story and lore into this game, like I initially tried to, it didn't really fit with the rest of the game that much. And after thinking about it more and more, I decided to cut that section. And those of you who have played the game, you might have a theory as to which section I'm talking about. It's a section that happens after you play the game 2 times. And uh, it's the secret battle. Well, it's not really secret, but it's the hidden battle in Leo's apartment where there's 2 Leos and all this stuff. I would cut that section because it doesn't make sense in the story. And I've done some like character shaving a little bit as well. Specifically, the character that has the blue text. I won't name them yet, just in case I decide to pick them up in a different game. But um, yeah, that's basically what I've done. And there's going to be more. I want to tell more of Jared's story. Those of you who don't know Jared, Jared is Leo's brother, and the only place that he appears in is in the basement after you beat the game. But I want to like add more to it. I want to give him more story, more presence. Basically, I just want to tell more of the story in this game. Um, because I don't really want to in a different one. This is essentially it. I should probably quit yammering and get into the game part of it. So I'm gonna put on some music. I have no idea how loud or soft that is for you guys, but welcome back to RPG Maker. I'll show you one thing that I did real fast. One thing I did do that I noticed that I hadn't really touched on, which kind of surprised me, was the saving system. And I'll show you what I mean, because you can save and stuff. But I didn't. I realized that I didn't mess with the here, I'll show you. I didn't mess with this part. What shows up when you are in, like, if you want to like overwrite a file, what this appearance is. I never mess with that, and I should have because um, after messing with it and changing it around, it looks so much better. Because the way it was before, it would say Leo's name, it would say LV where the CH is, and HP would also be there, but it'd be 1. Both numbers would be 1 at all times, and there'd be no icon, like no character face right there. And I changed it so that's not a thing anymore. And I also changed it so that in the save file you can track where you are. And I kind of bent the rules with how RPG Maker, like their base system works, because they have like a base system of like, you know, little battles and attacks and character levels and the pyramid, like the development slope and all that stuff. They have an incredibly complex and in-depth system, but I don't use it because it's too complicated, and I don't really want to get into that. Not in this game. Not the intention for this game. At some point, yes, I would love to get into that sort of thing, but not here. But I changed it so that Leo's health would appear in the save file, and I cheated and used the game's level system as the progress tracker for the game. So, like, for example, it says Chapter 1. That just means that you're in, like, Part 1 of the progress. Like, for example, in the main game, you go in, like, you go in, you try to go to the elevator, but they've locked it, and then you go to Plingo's room, or try and go to Plingo's room, find out that they've locked that too, and then you go into trying to find the key for Plingo's room to then get the access card for the elevator from Plingo. And that in itself is complicated, I know, and a little confusing. But I was in ninth grade, and I don't really want to change any of it because it doesn't really make sense to change it. At least not to me, because I wanted to keep, when I was remastering this game, I wanted to keep it as close as to the original as I could. I didn't want to change too much of it. I just wanted to make it newer. But those sections that I described were 5 different sections. So, like, 1 would be Leo going in, 2 would be discovering the elevator's locked, 3 would be discovering that Plingo's room is locked, and so on and so on. And basically, that's what the chapter tracker is. It tracks which section of the game that you are currently in. That's pretty much it. I know it's not incredibly descriptive. I only had 2 characters to work with. So I went with chapter because that makes sense. I also fixed some bugs that I found. Both like in the main game and then a secret part. I fixed some bugs in there. Oh, I also added these. These are tapes. The tapes. I haven't fully gotten there yet. We'll probably work on that a little bit this time. But yeah, I fixed a couple bugs. Just want to make sure. Okay. And then I'll show you the next thing I did. Which was one thing that kind of bothered me from the original, is that when you get to the 5th floor, you can't do anything but go to Defmar's office. Which is like late stage in the game. You can't do anything but go there. All of these rooms are locked and you can't do anything with them. When thinking back on it, that kind of was not great. So I changed it and I added interaction to these two. There's a specific reason that this one is not. Why this one's still locked. But I won't spoil that one. But you can go into Leo's office and you can go into his brother Jared's office. So you have Jared's office here. There's another tape you can collect. And you know, I don't think I'm going to add interaction to anything in here. Not because I'm lazy, but because I don't really need to. And then you have Leo's office, where you can play the tapes that you collect, which are like, the tapes are on all, like the first 4 floors. There's 4 tapes, and you can play them here. And then there's this poster, which is, you know, basic. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with the computer, but you can go in here and you can play the tapes. And you can like see what Leo's office looks like, which is better than the original game, because not only do you get an insight on what his office looks like, you can also, there's also like a reason to replay the game and get the tapes, which are here, or well, you can play them here. You also kind of see the golden bunny robot that Leo is currently working on, which is a reference to Spring Bonnie. I know any FNAF fan out there is gonna be gnawing at the bit to yes, Spring Bonnie. Ah! Yes, it's a reference, but that's all it's supposed to be. Nothing else. Leo is not Afton. Leave it alone. Please. But that's, I mean, essentially, that's all I've done. I also did the same thing for this, which is, as far as I know, I don't think anybody has found this. At least I haven't heard anything about it. The secret mode in the game. Mode. It's basically 2 games in 1 is what Underway Remastered is. Is you have this game, which is the story of Underway, but told in this clean looking map that has like details and stuff like that. And then you have this, which is the story of Underway, but different, and also told in the universe, or like in the reality that the original was made in. Like the very first version of the game. Like if you've played the first version, I know Charlie, you're probably watching this and you're recognizing this. I know I gave you the answer of how to get to this. So if you've played it and you've gotten to this, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't gotten here yet, it's basically Underway again, but it's the original. I wanted to put the old version remastered into this remastered of the original. God, that sounds so confusing. It's an alternate reality. How about that? Simple. It makes sense. That's what it is. And I'll tell you what. I feel like this version is. Ooh, sorry, I bumped the mic. I feel like this version is a little bit nicer. I mean, it's not quite as detailed, but it's got some cool stuff in it. I feel like it's a different experience compared to like if you were to go through this version of it. Um, so yeah, there's that. I'm not gonna tell you how you can access it, but I'm gonna tell you that it exists, and I hope somebody after seeing this figures out how to get to it because it is a really really cool secret that is completely hidden in the game, and I'm surprised that nobody has found. But don't worry, uh, if you get to this, you will be able to save. So it's in its own like menu system, but you can't access your save from that menu. Um, but if you can save in this version and access it from the main menu, so don't worry. I've already thought of that. I know some of that probably didn't make any sense, but yes. Anyway, that's essentially what I've worked on up until this point. Um, I already implemented the tapes, like collecting them. I just haven't added any dialogue for Leo to say when he grabs the tapes. But we'll probably work on that today. And the other thing I was going to do is work on the tapes themselves, which are these. And there's technically 8 tapes because if you collect them and play them in the second run, they play something different. But anyway, I wrote down the ideas of what I wrote down the ideas of what the tapes are going to be, or at least the first 4 of them. But I'm gonna basically just start programming it. So I do need to steal. Oh, you know what? I actually don't need to do that. I just need to do the voices. That's right. I forgot I was going to do it that way. Sorry, I'm still working on getting the creative juices flowing. Oh, also, I have no idea when this update is going to come out. I want to try and get it done and out like soon, and I'm actually pretty close to that. But there's some like minor things that I need to do first, and I kind of want to do like a promotional video about it. So I'll probably do that as well. Uh, but at the point of recording this, it's like the end of July. I'm hoping to get it out by the end of August. That's my hope. But we'll see. Until I do that, like I'm currently taking a pause on working on Ifrin to get this done because this has kind of been bugging me a little bit. And it also feels nice to be back in RPG Maker and getting used to it again. So, yeah. Oh, also, I want to add achievements to There's No Sleep, but um, there's also a lot more that I want to do to that game, including potentially a full remaster. Um, because I'm not a huge fan of the state that it's in. It's playable, and it's a complete story, but it also is not as polished as I would like it to be. So I want to come back to that at some point when I have the motivation to. I have some ideas, but that's for future me to figure out. So I'm actually going to start with this one. I need to add that to all of these actually. gotta get Dave's voice. And this one I actually gotta. Alright, let me just see how that goes as it is. Sorry, I'm not saying anything. Just kind of zoned that there for a second. Whew. All right. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That works. Not exactly what I would. Let's see what that does. works pretty nicely. And then put the ambiance back. It was 90. I know I'm using a toaster sound effect to replicate a tape recorder, but I don't care. I'll probably change it later, but for now it's alright. I don't know what this is. I do know what this is. You know what, I should probably do this. Oops. All right. So we got one tape done. I've already hit pretty much where I wanted to end, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm sorry I didn't say anything during this. I just kind of zoned in there a little bit. It does seem to be getting brighter in here though, so that's good, I guess. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be coming out after the update releases. I don't know when that's going to be. Hopefully by the end of August, but we'll see. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Twitch. Both should be linked down below. And I stream every week. I stream video games. So I have a plethora of content for you to check out. And I'll be making more for you to see. So I recommend you check that out. And then down in the description below will be my games. There's No Sleep and this one under Remastered. I highly recommend you check both of them out. They're cheap, fun plays on Steam, and yeah, they're really fun. And then finally down below is me and my brother's podcast, Agents of Chaos. We have a fun one coming up soon, so highly recommend you check it out. And all the episodes that we've done before are on my YouTube channel, so if you want to see what we've done before, I highly recommend you do. It's a fun time, some gaffes and goofs, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. That's going to be it for me. I hope everybody's having a great day, great weekend, red hour, whatever you're up to. I hope everybody's doing well. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.